Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this emergency live broadcast. Zelensky, Ukraine, NATO, and the European Union have betrayed the United States of America. They betrayed Donald Trump. And there's a reason why Zelensky was supposed to sign the mineral deal on 3 different occasions in the last month. And every single time it blew up. There was excuses. Then he started the argument. He did anything and everything that he could do just to make sure the mineral deal is not signed. Well, after what we witnessed a couple days ago in the Oval Office, what happened? From there, Zelensky flew to the United Kingdom just to get another $2.6 billion check. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 4 days before Donald Trump was inaugurated, all the European leaders and NATO leaders without the United States met with Ukraine, and they actually signed a mineral deal that just today got exposed, and Trump is pissed. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you're in, do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed with bell notifications on. Excuse me. Leave me a comment. How's your day going and where are you watching me from? Let's get right into this. Coming from the Gateway Pundit. Did Ukraine already sign a precious metals deal with the UK back in January? Does President Trump know about this? So check, this is how it goes. Who will ever forget how rude and dishonorable Ukrainians President Zelensky was on Friday to President Trump, J.D. Vance, and the president's all-star cabinet and the American people? Volodymyr Zelensky was way out of line, and his actions were repulsive for a weak leader visiting the country that has sent him $350 billion for this war's cause. It keeps going. It could be that Zelensky was so out of line because he had numerous lies that he had not told President Trump or the world. For example, where is the $100 billion of United States support that he lost and is currently unaccountable for? That's kind of a big one. But here we go. Here's this one. Oh no, what happened there? Okay. So let's continue. It, however, turns out that this may not be Zelensky's biggest lie. Zelensky's biggest lie may involve the UK and Europe. Last month, the UK announced an agreement with Ukraine that was signed on January 16th. There was one key point in the announcement that stuck out. And this is what it says. It also concerns the UK as a preferred partner for Ukraine's energy sector, critical mineral strategy, and green steel production. Here is UK and Ukraine 100-year agreement. This is it. That's all the different stuff that's in it. And this one that's red says, it also cements the UK as preferred partner for Ukraine's energy sector, critical mineral strategy, and green steel production. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? And they've kept this hidden from the public. They've kept this, hidden from the American people. They've kept this hidden from Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is worried about the Ukrainian men dying on the front lines. Donald Trump is worried about Ukrainian cities being destroyed. Donald Trump is worried about Russians, and he wants peace. He wants to bring about peace, but he also wants to make sure that we are not screwed and that we get all of our money back that we invested into this war. But 4 days before Donald Trump was inaugurated, they met and they signed an agreement. They signed a deal. This is why every time Zelensky had an opportunity to sign the mineral deal agreement with the United States, he refused to. He refused to. He didn't sign it. Why? Well, because he already did sign it. And he signed it with the UK. And the UK prime minister, who came in on Thursday, the day before Zelensky flew in and had a meeting with Donald Trump, didn't say a word. He didn't tell Trump about it. So we got screwed by and then he sat there and told Trump, oh, the United Kingdom and America are great friends. We're best friends. We have been friends forever and we're never gonna not be friends. We need to leave NATO. We need to, ladies and gentlemen, we need to back out of NATO. We need to leave the United Nations. And we need to become best friends with Russia. Russia is the biggest country in the world. They have more nukes than anybody in the world. They have more nukes than us. They are the second largest war tanks in the world after the United States. Their new fighter jets are just as good as ours. If Russia and United States become best friends, we won't have a need for all these military bases around the world. There won't be a need for all these little wars everywhere. Why? Because if two of the most powerful countries in the world join together, we don't need NATO, we don't need the United Nations, because the United Nations, their only job is to stop and end wars, either from happening or if a war does break out, to stop it. And by the way, yeah, thank you for this comment. We do pay 72% of NATO's budget. Why isn't it letting me? That's weird. 72% of NATO's budget is paid by the United States. So think about this. We don't need NATO. The United States. Oh, I'm sorry. Something happened with my internet connection. There we go. We're back on. That's right. America first. So we don't need NATO. NATO needs us. NATO always gets us into wars. NATO always drags the United States into wars and into conflicts. The United States, every war that we've ever had on behalf of NATO, it was for NATO. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ukraine, who we have been helping. We have given them weapons, supplies. We've given them everything. They went behind our backs with freaking the United Kingdom, and they signed a mineral agreement. That is why, they've been refusing to sign with the United States. Now, before I wrap this up, I'm going to show you, this was from earlier this morning. Where is this? Let me find this. Here we go. Watch this. Look how NATO countries treat the United States. So after Donald Trump's and Zelensky's meeting, Norway, who's supposed to be an ally, a friend of NATO, of Europe, they refused to supply American warships with oil. So a Norwegian marine fuel supplier just learned the harsh lessons in geopolitics after its attempt to cut off U.S. military backed by United States military. So a Norwegian marine supplier who, gives fuel to our ships said, we're not going to give fuel to American ships anymore. This is Norway. We protect them. I forgot, is Norway part of NATO? Is Norway in NATO? Yes. Norway. Yes. Norway. So Norway, who is a NATO member, refused to give oil to American tankers in the sea because of what happened between Zelensky and Trump in the Oval Office. Think about that. So Ukraine is not a NATO member. Ukraine is not part of the European Union. And because Donald Trump, a NATO country, the leader of NATO, gets in an argument with a non-NATO member about a war that has nothing to do with NATO, Norwegian oil vessels refused to give our ships oil until we stepped in. Donald Trump, if anybody from Trump's team ever watches this, do me a favor. Get the hell out of NATO. Get us out of the European Union like friendships, the United Nations friendships. That's all garbage. We don't need any of that. We can survive without them. We can survive without them. And if you held a special election about this, hey, should we be best friends with Europe or with Russia? I guarantee you, over 60% of the nation, easily 60% of the nation, will vote to become friends with Russia. I'd rather be friends with the most powerful nuclear country in the world that has more reserves than when it comes to gas, oil, lumber. Nobody in this world has more than Russia. Nobody, not even the Saudis. When it comes to gas, no one has more, and no one has more lumber than they do. It's the biggest country by far. It is 2.5 United States in one country. And then in Siberia, where there's no cities or towns for 2, 3, 4, like 3,000 miles, it's all great lumber that could be used to build our houses. And Russia even reached out last night to the United States and said, don't work with Ukraine on rare minerals and rare earth. Come work with us. We have way more than they do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this one. Share this video with a couple people. Do me a huge favor. Let's get the truth out there. We need more people to hear this. It's crazy. It is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, God bless you. I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm out.